Hey folks, Quilly18 here, and welcome to Let's Play some Terraforming Mars, now with the Prelude Expansion. Terraforming Mars is one of my absolute favorite physical board games. I have played it a ton with my regular weekly board game session, and since COVID started, I have still played it quite a lot with my online weekly board game sessions with my buds here. The Prelude Expansion, so Terraforming Mars, the physical version, has tons of expansions, and they are very, very strong. The Prelude Expansion, I don't think was the first expansion to drop for the physical version, but it kind of makes sense that it's the first one for the digital version over here. It is widely regarded to be very fun. It's also probably fairly easy to implement. It doesn't radically change how the game works. Mostly, and you can sort of maybe, rock that from the name, Prelude, it mostly changes a little bit right at the start of the game, rather than changing the core gameplay. So we're going to go ahead and jump in on a game here. We're going to play with, 3 opponents. Yeah, total 4 players. I think that's going to be a good mix. I'll try to explain the rules when we get in the game if you haven't seen any of my other Terraforming Mars videos. But in terms of initial game setup, draft variant is very strong, very cool. I'm going to leave it off just in the interest of time for the video, but it is a very strong mode to play. We're going to play with corporate era rules, which are the real rules of the game. Standard game is mostly really meant for an intro. Corporate era is what you really want to do. So we're going to play with the Prelude expansion on. We will include the Prelude corporations and the Prelude projects. The other thing is it's got this mode here with highlight draw. This guarantees we're going to get one standard corporation, and we're going to get one corporation from the expansion to choose from. So we'll be guaranteed to be able to check out something new. So we'll go ahead and hit create on the game. So the point of the game, the goal, the idea is we all represent a corporation, and we have been tasked with terraforming Mars for human life. Mars will be considered, the game will be completed when Mars is considered to be terraformed, but at the end of the game, the winner will be determined by whoever has the most points. So the first step is choose a corporation. The beginner corporation, again, is not sort of the main full mode to play. If you choose the beginner corporation, so at the start of the game, you pick a corporation, you'll also get dealt 10 project cards. If you pick the beginner corporation, you just keep all 10 project cards. If you pick one of the more advanced corporations, you actually have to choose which cards to buy and keep. But the advanced corporations have other kind of bonuses. So the United Nations Mars Initiative can actually be really potent. So you start with 40 mega euros over here, I don't know, megabucks. Which is slightly less than beginner corporation. And we still have to buy our project cards and starting with all 10. However, anytime we raise our terraforming rating is the primary. I'm gonna lie to you. It is the primary base of your score for the game. It also represents your income to a certain way. Anyway, on any turn where you raised your terraforming rating, you can spend 3 to raise it another time. So you can really jack that up a lot, which is kind of nice. However, we'll probably look over here at the Xiangxing Mars Corporation, because this is one of the ones from the expansion. And I haven't actually really seen this because I don't know, did the physical turmoil expansion actually come with new corporations? I'm not 100% sure it did, or maybe I screwed up and never put them into the main pack, because I don't remember seeing these guys. Anyway, so this is quite interesting. We actually start with a fair amount of money and income, 3 extra megabuck production per turn. That's huge. And when we play something with a building tag, we get a discount, and it counts as having a building tag itself. I really like this corporation. Now, you don't really have to lock in on your corporation exactly here, because if you pick the beginner corporation, you're locked into beginner. If you pick an advanced corporation, you're locked into an advanced corporation, but you can actually back up and change your mind between which one of these two you pick after you see your cards. But I'm pretty sure we're going to go over it with the Xiangxing Mars Corporation, because they actually look very cool. So here's something that's different from the base game. So the big gist of the Prelude expansion, the core thing that it adds in, is at the start of the game, you get dealt 4 Prelude cards, and you get to keep 2 of them. And before we actually play our first real turn in the game, we're going to play our 2 Prelude cards. Each one of these Prelude cards are insanely powerful. They accelerate the game, but they kind of keep shaking things up and make it kind of interesting. So we're going to choose to keep 2 of these. And yeah, so here it costs, if the Galilean mining costs us $5, but it gives us 2 titanium income, which is pretty substantial. Also counts as a Jovian tag, which is important because there's a lot of tags that require Jovian tags or score you points based on how many Jovian tags you've got, for example. Dome farming is 1 plant and 2 income. Probably not as potent as the Galleon Mine, but the Galleon Mine is -5 money. Maybe it's kind of balanced, and the tags are different. We got a plant tag and a building tag. Tags don't do anything by themselves, but they do enable certain things. Acquire Space Agency gives us 6 titanium, not income, just 6 titanium flat. And then gives us 2 cards, but it's 2 cards that are guaranteed to have the space tag on them. And space tag cards can be discounted with titanium. So, and space tag cards tend to be kind of powerful, which is kind of nice, and then we can pay them off at a discount, so that's not too shabby. Molehole here starts us off with 3 heat income and 3 heat right away. You know, I tend to like things that give me some raw income. The Galleon Mine, I think, is going to be very tempting. The titanium production is going to be nice, and a Jovian tag is also going to be rather handy. And then after that, if we were running a corporation that gets a discount or some sort of bonus to space tags, that could be tempting. But I'm actually just wondering about picking up dome farming. I mean, so this here, titanium is worth about $3 each, because you spend titanium discounts on space cards, and each titanium saves you $3 on the card. So effectively, this is 18 megabucks. So this is 18 megabucks. How does that compare to, say, this income over here? Well, how long does the game last? It depends a lot on how many players are in your game, how aggressively they're terraforming, and whether you're playing with the Prelude or not, because Prelude can accelerate things quite a bit. We can probably expect the game will last somewhere between 10 to 12 generations. That's fairly typical, at least in my experience here. So we're going to get, let's call it 11. Let's call it 11 turns of income. So this is going to be worth $22 plus 11 plants, which is more than the $18 that the titanium is worth. However, the titanium we get right away, so we can sort of front load things. I think we'll assume these two. However, now what we're going to do is we're going to take a look at our hand here. And if we have a lot of space cards, and we do, we might be tempted, in fact, to grab the straight up upfront titanium. And I think there's a good chance that might be what happens. The other thing, though, is with our corporation, we are going to get... we don't get steel production. We get a discount to building tag buildings, though. Which, it will incentivize us getting the mining area, which can give us either steel or titanium production. This domed crater has to be played early because it requires an auction level of 7% or lower, but is a great little building. It's going to be worth tons of points. It's going to get us set up on the board. It's really going to be quite strong. It is fairly expensive, and it requires us to have at least 1 power before we can play this thing, because the commercial district is similar as well. This commercial district gives us 1 victory point at the end of the game for every city adjacent to it. This tends to be pretty good as maybe a bit of more of a strategic late game drop, although it can give us a lot more income as well. But I don't know. I guess space elevators are space tag and a building tag. It's really good. You fling 1 steel into space to get $5. It also gives us titanium production. I think we really want this for an early economy. Now, we have to be careful because we have to pay 3 megabucks for every card we keep. And then, we are going to get this too cheaper because of our thing. And if we start with a bunch of titanium, I think we're going to have a lot of space stuff. I'll take the titanium production. I'll take this for more space cards, which we'll get to take advantage of with our titanium production as well. So we'll take the space elevator. I'm not going to have 5 science tags, so the mass converter, as good as it is not very likely. I don't know, do we just grab a ton of these space cards? It'd be nice to get the dome crater early. We do need some power. Did any of these generate power? No. We'd have to do a special project. Mining area is good early, as early as possible to get the production. We're not going to be able to play everything on turn 1. You really want to avoid buying too many cards, which arguably I'm doing here, but I think it's correct. Now, the dome crater, the only reason I'm hesitating is because we really are going to have to make sure to play this fairly early before the auction level rises too quickly. It's ideally, I'd like to probably play some of my other cards first, but we are potentially going to have to prioritize getting our power up by 1, so we have enough power to play dome crater, and then putting this down, because, especially with Prelude, the auction might raise quite quickly. I'm going to take a gamble. I'm going to take the dome crater as a gamble. We'll hit done. So I spent the 15 megabucks over there. Now, the AI, so we're the 3rd player over here. So the AI, they're playing their Prelude cards. They're all going to be very potent effects. Very potent effects. So Point Luna got to play an ocean and then drew some 3 free cards. Great Aquifer is going to put down 2 extra oceans as well. So the ocean is one of the things, once 9 oceans are placed, that's part of the terraforming. You need to get the oxygen to 14%, average temperature to 8 degrees, and 9 oceans, and that will end the game. So already it's been accelerated. Oxygen's already gone up 2 levels. Remember, level 7 is the limit for our domed crater. Okay, we'll take the space agency, gives lots of titanium, and yeah, it'll draw cards until we've revealed 2 with the space tag. So we are going to have a stupid amount of cards in our hand, but they're going to be cards that we can play very efficiently for titanium. It'd be great if we had a titanium-centric corporation or space-centric corporation, because everything else we got from our starting 10 cards and our preludes is really benefiting that, or would really benefit that, but we'll make do with what we can. All right, so they're taking their first real turns. So on your turn, you can play up to 2 actions. If you play 1 action or 2 action, and then, you know, you pass to the next player, that's fine. It'll come back around to you. If you play 0 action, you can't play anymore for this generation. So the generation's kind of the round as a whole. So, I mean, there's no limit to how many actions you can play. The only thing is, if you pass without taking any actions, that's you done. At the end of the generation, we get our income, and then start the generation, we actually get to draw some more cards, although I have a stupid amount of cards right now. All right. I don't like that the auction was raised, but it's only up by 2, and it kicks the start that fast because of Prelude. It's probably not going to go up for another little while, so we're probably okay not having to freak out about the dome crater here. I would like to do things that give us economy type stuff. How come I can't? Place the mining tile on an area with steel or titanium placement bonus adjacent to another of your tiles. Oh, I need to have a tile down first before I can play the mining area. Ah. Well, I can get power from my giant space mirror, which will make it easy to do dome crater. That's nice. So, So I would like an area down so I can put the mining area. So there's a couple of these that work very similarly, I think. There's another one with a similar name, but I don't think I have to place it next to one of my tiles. So I guess I could end up placing it next to the dome crater. So I could do power this turn, drop the dome crater next turn, assuming I save up enough money. That's a possibility, but the other thing that might be nice, since I can't get the benefit from the space elevator, well, I can't use its ability because I won't have the steel. But I would still get the titanium production, which would be nice. But I'm thinking maybe we start with the nitrogen-rich asteroid, because it'll raise the temperature by 1, which will increase my terraforming rating by 1, and terraforming rating is also your income, so it'll effectively give us more money. Then it'll give us 2 other terraforming rating, so we'll raise our terraforming rating by 3, which is 3 points at the end of the game, plus a little bit more income. So it's kind of nice to get that started, and I can discount it with like all the titanium in the universe to try to make it much more affordable. We can also get some plant production. If I had 3 plant tags, I could actually boost it quite a bit. Now, I don't have any plant tags. We're probably not going to get more. I don't think it's worth waiting for the nitrogen-rich asteroid. Now, the downside to doing this is I don't get power generation, which means I can't then set up the dome crater, which then leads me to being able to put down the mining area somewhere. Or I could just start with the IO Mining Industries, which I just realized is a draw that I got here. It'll give us 2 titanium production, which we'll be able to keep spending on making space cards affordable, and 2 income. I think I actually should start with this. And then at the end of the game, it's worth 1 victory point for every Jovian tag I have. So we're going to do that. It's going to spend all our money, but it's a pretty decent starting turn. For my second action, the only thing I could really do is sell some of my cards for money, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to skip. Because I did take 1 action, it's not actually ending my turn this generation, but so it'll come back around to me, but when it comes back around to me, I will have to do a hard pass so that we will just wrap things up at that point for this generation. Point Luna's playing the Aquifer Pumping, which they will be able to use to get cheap oceans. The oceans are going to go pretty fast, which is okay, I think. Did I have a card that gives oceans? So I think we're kind of fine with that. Anyway, I have to pass. I can't afford anything unless I want to sell some projects, but even then I won't be able to sell enough to afford anything either. Tharsis is looking for hydrogen, just giving him some water placement. They definitely want to get that done soon. So the terraform is going to happen very fast here. Oh shit, the auction's going fast. I didn't expect someone to plop down a greenery already. But mostly, I expect people will be out of money at this point, so there's going to be a lot of passing. Later on in the game, people have more income, and they may also have some more cards they can play for an actions. Wow, plant conversion already. Jesus. Tharsis is actually one of the strongest corporations in general, and they're having a stupid good start here. Stupid good. I wouldn't mind placing a city right here. And then putting maybe the mining area on that. That would be pretty sweet. So, oh, the order changes the return, by the way. You sort of, whoever was first ends up being last, so we're going to be second to play this round. All right, if we were playing draft mode here, what we'd be doing is we would select one card to hold on to, and then pass everything to left, and then repeat until we've done that for all our 4 cards, and at that point you would start buying. But I've got draft mode turned off just in the interest of time here. I probably don't want to buy anything, although the large convoy is really powerful. We'd have to play it immediately to get the ocean down before they all go away. All right, it's 36. Now, I don't have 36 bucks, but I have 12 bucks worth of titanium, which means I can afford this because I only have to spend 24. My turn could just be play large convoy and finish, and that would actually be fairly strong. It's worth 2 points at the end of the game, which is good. Gives us 2 more cards. Oh, I'll have to spend 3 bucks to keep it though, right? So effectively, this is a $39 card. I have $26 left, which means I need to make up 13, and this is only 12. I actually can't play the large convoy if I buy it, so I might not want to. Now, Protected Valley is interesting, because it does give us a greenery tile somewhere on an ocean, which would let me do... This, I think, might be worth it, because then it would let me put down the mine somewhere next to the Protected Valley. Yeah, actually, I think that's quite good. We get a discount for it, because it's a building card. And that's our corporation. It gives us income. I will buy just this one card over here. Oh, the lichen's pretty good. It's fairly cheap for plant production, and our temperature is basically there. But I can't afford to take too many cards. I like the idea of playing the Protected Valley this turn. I think that is correct, although we have tons of cards in our hand that we want to play. But I think the Protected Valley will enable some good things for us. So, we will play this now. I place it on a tile normally reserved for an ocean. I'm going to want to make sure that it is a tile that is adjacent to probably steel, because I think we need a little bit of steel production for the mine, especially since we specifically have the, what is it? The space elevator, which needs steel to do income. So we need some steel production for that. So... the 2 places available we could do here, which would give us 2 plants. Whenever you place a tile on the board, you get whatever's underneath. It gives us 2 plant. Not 2 plant production, but 2 plant. And then it's adjacent to this tile where we could put the mine. However, can I afford the mine? Yeah, because it only costs me 2. And I would have exactly 2 left over. If I didn't have enough money, I could place the ocean here, which would give me the steel. And then I would have enough steel to play it, you know, kind of cheaply over here. But I think I will play here, because if I put the steel building over there, I'll get $2 back from that, but I'll get less. I guess it's sort of 6 of 1, half a dozen, isn't it? If I don't care about the plants right now, and I guess I don't, maybe it does make more sense to go here. Plus, it'll give me a backup. Someone might randomly put something on this tile and completely screw up my play. So we'll go here. And then for action number 2, I will play the mining area. And I may as well spend 1 steel. So one steel is worth $2 over here. 1 titanium is worth 3. So I'll spend the 1 to make it be 0. I'll place it on this tile, which will give me the 2 steel that was on it. And now we get steel production as well, which is going to be really good for us. Land claim's an interesting tile. It just lets you put a marker on a tile, and later on you can build on it. No one else can build here. Only Tharsis. Wow, they are making a mega city over there. I would like... actually, can I build the dome city? No, I still need power. Shoot. Because I would love to place a city right over here. So at the end of the game, cities give you 1 victory point for every greenery adjacent to them. And greeneries are worth 1 point in and of themselves. So if I put a city here, it would be adjacent to 2 greeneries right away. They're not my greeneries, but that's okay. So I don't have enough money to do anything. I could do the sell patents, and actually, if anyone raises the auction anymore, I won't be able to place the dome crater, and likely I simply won't be able to place the dome crater, but I'm not going to go and sell the patent now because it doesn't do anything for us yet. It is going to be annoying because we paid $3 to grab that card. We can sell it for $1, so we'll have lost 2 net, which, I mean, it's not horrible. It's not great, but it's not the end of the universe, right? Like 3.6 Rotgens. You know, not great, not terrible. Generation 3. So we're going to draft again. I really probably should not be buying cards. The geothermal power, we get a discount. It's, hold on, that actually might work out. So effectively, if we buy it, because we're spending 3, so effectively it's going to be a $12 card, but we can dump, well, we could theoretically dump all of our steel over here. We're going to be first person to play as well. So actually, we can place our dome crater, which is going to cost us 22. Again, we've got the steel production, so either way we're going to be able to save it. So it's 22. We got 30, so that gives us 8 left. We have to spend 3 to buy the cards. That gives us 5 left. We then have to spend the 9 over here. So that means we're short by $4, but we can just spend some steel to offset it. So that's actually fine. Lagrange Observatory is wonderful. I mean, it's worth a victory point, gives us a card back. It's got some nice tags on it, which actually we could play this one basically for free with the titanium. So I was going to be short 4, but I can spend 2 of those, which means I have 4. I can buy, I won't be able to play this, but I can buy this. Actually, I will be able to play it because of the titanium. Because if I buy this now, I'm 7 short for the base move, right, of the geothermal power. Assuming I've done the math right, I'm short 7, but I've got $8 worth of steel sitting over here. So I think, God, I hope I haven't made a mistake here. The bribe committee is really strong too, but unless I'm wrong, and I'm never wrong, what I can do is do the geothermal power, and I may as well, since we're not going to be doing the space elevator this turn, I may as well go ahead and decrease the cost as much as possible, giving us the power. And then I can dome crater before someone raises the oxygen and makes this play no longer possible. So I can use that. Do I want to here? Do I want to go here? I mean, either way, it's adjacent to 2 greeneries. The bigger question is, like, what does the adjacency look like for placing other crap down? Where might I want to go with things? It's so hard to predict. And it really doesn't matter if I'm placing it next to my greenery or their greenery. It works out to the same. So either way, I'm adjacent to 2 greeneries. That's all that matters. Either way, I'm going to have 4 adjacent tiles that can still be developed. I guess here, I'm going to be slightly more incentivized to develop this tile, which will give me money from the ocean and the greenery. And either way, I get, to maybe exploit Tharsis Tholos, or either way, someone might build a volcano there, which is totally a thing. So I guess I'll plop down the city right there. So it cost me 1 power. It does give us 3 plants just as part of this card, this dome crater. So we got a little bit of that. And I can still play some space stuff because of all the crazy amount of titanium I have. We have a ludicrous amount of titanium production. Awesome. And you can see I had to spend all the steel on one card or the other. They both had a building tag, but I had to spend all of it to be able to do this little setup. Okay. I quite like building tags. I tend to build them a lot. I often get the builder milestone over here. So this corporation is really compatible with the way I play. So I can afford all of these things. So actually, even though I don't have any steel left, I didn't have a choice. We had to spend it all. Even though I don't have any steel left, I think maybe building a space elevator first might be the thing that makes sense, because it gives us titanium production, which means on the next turn I can spend that much more titanium on these other projects. Getting the space mirror first would be nice for power production, but I don't need the power right now. I think the titanium's a little bit better to prioritize first. Lagrange Observatory gives us an extra card. We don't really need another card right now, so it can go ahead and wait. So I think we're going to do the space elevator. And we have to use exactly all 8 of our titanium to bring the cost down to just $1 left, which is literally how much I have. I mean, if nothing else, it feels good and efficient, so we'll do that. Now, if I had steel, I could use it on the space elevator to make some money, but I don't have any, so I just have to skip. So, I mean, the sweetest play would have been if somehow, if I hadn't bought the Lagrange Observatory, I would have saved $3, which means I could have saved 1 steel, which means I could have used the space elevator this turn. To turn the profit to make the 5 megabucks. On the other hand, Lagrange Observatory is going to be worth a victory point in the end, and does let us draw another card. We might draw garbage from it, but I think it was worth picking up. So over the course of the entire game, we will be 5 megabucks behind, because we didn't fling the steel this one time. But otherwise, we're going to be okay. So that's all I can do right now. I've got to do a hard pass, end the generation. Boom, 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 boom. And I think everyone else is passing. Yes, indeed. So we'll get our end of turn income. Again, remember, we get the 21 from our terraforming rating over here as well. So Hellion's getting 29 from this. Tharsis is getting 26, plus they've gotten some extra income. Every time someone places a city, Tharsis gets more income. That's the reason they're really strong. But Mars is, like, very rapidly terraforming. Turmoil really accelerates the game. Maybe I should be thinking more like 8 or 9 generations. Depends, because it's hard to predict exactly what the AI will do. I think we might have to pick up the Phobos Space Haven. It's worth 3 victory points. We can play it very cheaply because it's a space card and we have so much titanium. It generates more titanium to keep going with our stuff. I think we grab this, and that's going to be okay. That's a lot of heat. That's this, that's that. We still have tons of cards in the hand. We get a nice discount to these building cards. Plus, again, we can unlock that milestone. Research coordination is interesting. It doesn't do anything, but it's got a wildcard tag, so you can treat it as anything, which is kind of spiffy. I think I'm just going to get the Phobos. I want more, but you really, like, you really have to try to pace yourself with your purchases. It's so tempting to buy all the cards, but you know, you don't want to bank things for, like, way later in the game. You really just want to look at, like, this turn and next turn. And basically, the Phobos Space Haven is so strong that I want to play it now. Plus, it's worth a lot of victory points at the end, but it will be... I think that's what we want to do. So, I mean, we can play any of these. Oceans things, that's fine. These are fine. Yeah, just playing this for more titanium income. We may as well reduce the cost. Yeah, by 5, so we only spend 10. There's no reason to sit on the titanium. We have nothing that requires titanium specifically, so you really want to keep spending it. So we drop a planet, or a city on the Phobos Space Haven. Oh, Helion's got something in play. They get 2 money every time a city gets placed, which is different from Tharsis getting income. And then I can still play one of these. I don't really care about drawing this card right away. So we're going to do the giant space mirror. Well, actually, what we're going to do is we're going to make sure to fling some metal into space. Well, not fling it. It's not the space catapult. It's the space elevator. We're going to use some steel to get some money. So Tharsis did a hard pass already. Point Luna has some card that lets them add microbes to one of their cards. And then, yeah, they can keep putting down oceans cheaply. Helion is spending a lot of money to put down a city. I think they just bought it the hard way. And for us, so we still can't do these, even with the +5 money, with no titanium left over. But yeah, we'll do the giant space mirror. It'll give us some power, which might be important for some of the cards we're going to play. But also it can convert into heat, which we can use to increase things. I think it's fine to place this down now. It's a little less obviously useful for us, but I think it's still going to do good things. Okay, we'll just go ahead and skip. I don't like that my terraforming rating is so low. I usually like it. I feel very happy when my terraforming rating goes up a little early, because A, you've banked some points, and B, your terraforming rating is income. But we have actual physical income here. I mean, 10 mega credit income, plus lots of various metals and stuff. I think here we have to do a hard pass. Nothing we can do. I could just sell projects, but I don't think there's any reason to do that right now. So we'll just go ahead and do a hard pass. I hope Point Luna is done with their stuff as well. And they are. Okay, more card buying. Yeah, Mars is terraforming so freaking fast here. I think what I might do is I might put a cut in here. We'll do a 2-parter episode, and I think that's all that it's going to be. I think in the past we may have done 3-parters for Terraforming Mars, but I think it's just going to be a 2-parter. So Generation 5. There's a lot of heat to do, admittedly. Although Hellion Corporation does generate a lot of heat as part of their special thing. We're generating some power now, and the AI will probably just shift over to doing more heat-centric things. Do we put down the Vesta Shipyard? We might. I don't know. We're going to put a cut in here, folks. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm going to see you guys next time. Bye-bye.